Good morning, Nancy Quinn. How are you doing? We're playing some chase. We're playing some chase. Yo, we're playing some chase. We're playing some chase. How you doing? I'm like just waking up in the morning lately. I've just been really not all about like putting myself like I'm not even using camera anymore. Lately, I've just not even been about the whole, like, you know, that kind of stuff. I've been really just kind of getting back to my roots, just studying chess and playing games and talking about stuff. And, like, you know, sometimes I, you know, get the camera out and do stuff, but, you know, like, talk about stuff. But, you know, I'm not really all about that right now. Just kind of, hey, Sanjay. Yo. We're just getting started. I'm gonna be playing for a bit. I got stuff to do later. So we're gonna do some puzzles and maybe play some games. Let me know if you want to play. Rebecca Lauren on Lee Chess, Rebecca Lauren on chess.com. Just let me know what time control you want to play, and I will give you a challenge. You know, otherwise, feel free to, you know, like, enjoy the stream. Try to solve along with me. But you know, generally, like, I try not to solve the puzzles and talk about the game. That's all I ask, is because trying to solve them on my own. You know, so if you want to solve them, maybe start a Discord to talk about it yourself. You know, like that. I'm pretty much just supplying the visuals. Sometimes we do talk about positions and stuff, so together. Usually in a study, you know, for example, there's a study available. Or, you know, I have where we can talk about stuff. You know, like after my games, I will like talk about them, and then we can talk about them together. stuff like that. I have 2 pieces. I have an extra piece and a rook in this, so white is winning here. You know, stuff like that. I generally don't like backseat gaming too well, so that's really all. I mean, basically no backseat gaming, no spoilers. That's really my big rule here. What does that mean? Please, please don't, if I can't translate something, just so you know, if I can't translate something, I don't know what you're trying to talk about, so please only keep English in the chat. I don't want to have to translate every single thing. I don't know if people are saying really wrong things, so it's harder to moderate, so just let you know, English only in the chat. My name's Rebecca. Nice to meet you. You can call me Becca if you'd like. Rebecca Lauren. It's almost like I have 2 first names. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm so used. Maybe I'm just obliterated by the Twitch culture. I know that you're on Facebook, but it almost sounds like you're saying something about wanking off. Oh, hey, Master Chess Dojo. Thank you so much for the follow. My name's Rebecca Lauren. I am a chess player. I'm some random chick that just plays video games and talks about her life all the fucking time. But right now we're just jamming out and playing some chess. Let me know if you want to play. Just let me know what time control. Rebecca Lauren on Lee Chess and on chess.com. Feel free to send me a challenge. Or just let me know where you want to play and how you want to play. I can play on any chess website, even on some random, like, no, I'm not downloading any viruses. But, if you want to play on some random, like you want to type out your moves and we can just play correspondence through text. Like if you want to just say your moves out loud, like 1e4, and then I can just play 1c5. I can just say it out loud and play blindfold chess while I'm solving chess puzzles. I'm free to do that too. I'm here to, just have a good time with some good vibes, playing games with the community. And the cool thing about chess is you can actually play it blindfolded, and I do want to practice blindfolded. So if you want to just say your moves in the chat, like 1e4, and then I'll just, I might even just type it out, just to have a record, and I'll like respond to you, I'll like at you in the chat, and then like I'll say like my move. So if you want to do that, I'm always down for that. I like challenging myself. Like blindfold chess is actually a really, really, really good way to improve. Like completely blindfolded, not even looking at a board. Obviously, you can use a board if you'd like, but I'm down to play. I'm down to play that way. If you don't have access to an app, if you don't have access to, if you're just like sitting, if you're just able to type, or if you're like, some people actually have disabilities where they have to do speech to text. And I'm totally down for that. If you want to just type out your moves or say your moves, like you want to say like 1 pawn to king 4, like you can say that. It's all good. We can go back in time. We can go back to the 1800s. You could say pawn to king 4. I can play any way you want to. I am a chess. What? Bye-bye. Oh god. I just like randomly remember, dude, Tyler 1 is so freaking full of energy. It's so crazy. Like watching him on PogChamps is so great. Like just seeing, like, I've only seen a little bit of his clips, and he's like, he won, and he's like, I'm him! Like, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Tyler 1's gonna win the tournament, I think. Maybe it's gonna be XQC, actually.
He's gonna go down. Yeah! I'm him! I'm him! Let's go! Woo! Yes, sir! That boy thought, huh? Yeah!
Yes,
they
sir.
love to hate me, baby! Like I said, if I've been playing...
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Pulling the Pokimane clip out. Yes, sir! Oh my god. welcome back. Soul Blazer. Hey, Oren. Welcome back. Soul Blazer? Or Soul Glazer. Oh, what's up? Good morning. Playing some chess. What's Soul Blazer? I don't know. I've never played it before. Is it free on Steam? If it's free on Steam, I can give it a try. Otherwise, I don't have the kind of money to play it. Follower. Okay, sorry, your name sounded familiar. Well, welcome to the stream. Oh, sorry, your name sounded familiar. Oh, it's from SNES. Your name sounded familiar, so sorry if you're new here. Welcome. I do a lot of stuff. I talk about my personal life a lot, although it's not really a diary. It's more of a public journal. I've been around the internet since like the days of like LiveJournal, basically. So I'm an old lady. I've been undergoing like a lot of really important stuff in my life, and so I kind of like just chilling out on stream. And, you know, with the small community I have, we're really tight-knit. We're really tight-knit. We might be a small community, but we're very strong. We're all in this together. But in the end of the day, this is all about me. So, you know, don't get it twisted. I have main character syndrome. And it is my stream. So, you know, in the end of the day, it is my stream. Not, you know, this isn't 100% about community. I mean, what I mean is like, it's not like one of those communities where it's like, you know, like, you know, sometimes, have you seen those Twitch channels? Have you seen those Twitch channels? They're kind of cool, but they're also kind of like a little odd. Like, it seems like it's run by a bot or something. And it's like, you know, welcome to the community. And it's like the community runs the stream. Those are kind of cool. But that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. This is my personal public journal. And I kind of create a space for everybody to feel welcome. And just, you know, just remember, you know, your information is your own. My information is my own. I'm very careful about what I release on the internet. I've, you know, a lot of trial and error. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the chess vibes. Let me know if you want to play. Feel free to chat. I do interact with my chat, so, you know, but I, you know, I'm just kind of chilling. I have about, like, you know, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes or so, and then I gotta...
Blazer, released in Japan as Soul Blader, is an action role-playing video game developed by Quintet and published by Enix for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was released in 1992 in Japan. Search Rebecca Loran Alert. 1. Notices. 0. Watch list. Personal tools. Talk. Sandbox. Preferences. Beta contributions. Logout. Main menu. Hide. Main page. Contents. Current events. Random article. About Wikipedia. Contact us. Donate. Switch to old look. Contribute.
What was that chat? Jesus Christ. There's a guy who begs for messages every tournament claiming to be depressed. He sends nude photos of himself. Don't know if it's the same now. What the fuck is that dono?
Matt Henderson. There's a guy who begs for messages every tournament, claiming to be depressed. He sends nude photos of himself. Dunno if it's the same now.
What the fuck?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
internet.
Naguna. FU Internet.
Hey, 頑張れ、頑張ろう。頑張ろうね。よろしくお願いします。Low FPS TV. How are you doing? We're just playing some chess. I got maybe like 30 minutes left. Then I gotta go. I got stuff to do today. But we're just playing some chess, chilling. I hope you enjoy the music. Let me know if you want to play Rebecca Lauren on Lichess and chess.com. Any time control, even 15 seconds. 韓国語に韓国語をあえてませんかね。けど日本語を勉強させね。200前に始めたのか日本語頑張ってね。韓国語もとてもだよ。とてもだよ。Yeah, Korean is tough, but Japanese is Korean's tough, but Japanese is my second language. I can't really read Japanese too well, like with especially names, like names and like food, because I don't live in Japan. Especially like specific terminology, like specific vocabulary based about like a lot of Japanese is literally like geographical, like because it's mostly used in Japan. It's a very isolated country, so isolated history. And it's only like more like within like, you know, maybe like the 60s, 70s, 80s plus, where Japan really kind of entered into a more international language. And so like Korean is more Korean, and like Mandarin and Chinese are like a lot more international, because there's a lot more people who are, you know, emigrated to different countries like Canada, especially like Canada, United States, probably Spain and all that kind of stuff. So like Korean and Japanese, Korean and Mandarin Chinese are like a lot more international. So it's a little easier for me to comprehend. But I haven't studied Mandarin too much, and Korean is really hard for me. It's hard because it doesn't use kanji. Whereas with like Hanzi for Mandarin and like and kanji for Japanese, it allows me to kind of like skim more, where I can like kind of know what like kind of generally like what the vocabulary is, because I can remember the kanji. So like it's so much easier for me to like learn something like Japanese or any, you know, like Chinese written language, which is universal. If you write in Chinese, depending on whether you use traditional or simplified, but if you write in Chinese, like anybody of any dialect can read it. Whereas with like, you know, like other languages, there's like regional dialects. Whereas with Korean, it's more like other languages like Spanish or like English, where I really have to understand the vocabulary, because I can't really cheat. Like, you know, like, because like with the kanji and stuff, you can just skim through the page and you can just kind of know like, oh yeah, this is about this or this is about that. Like, I can't really do that with Korean unless I'm studying like ancient Korean, which is irrelevant, because they used to write, because the academic world in like a lot of Southeast Asia was like, they used either Latin or but mostly they used like Chinese as like a intellectual language, like for academics. And so like a lot of the stuff was international. I mean, it was like there would be like a what they call it, like a lingua franca or whatever, lingua franca, or there'd be like kind of like a standardized language for academia. And so like Korean used Hanja, which was the Chinese characters, for a lot. But they don't do that anymore. They have a different writing system with called Hangul. And I don't really know how to study Korean. It doesn't really make as much sense to me. It all every time I study Korean, I know that there's a lot of differences, and if I studied more I would notice, but a lot of the vocabulary sounds the same. And it's more contextual based. And so like when someone says like some vocabulary kind of translates directly to like Japanese or Mandarin or something. Like junbi means preparation in Japanese, and it also means preparation in Korean. So it's like that's about it though. There's not too much vocabulary that it really like translates that way. And so it's, you know, like when someone says like "jessayo," like I don't know what that means. But if someone says like "yoroshiku," like I know what that means. Or "yorokobi," that's like based on yoroshiku. Like there's a lot of, I studied it more, so that's mostly it. So I didn't study as much Korean. I'd like to be able to speak fluent Korean. It's a very useful language as far as like I'm concerned. I don't really think of language that way. I don't like think of it as like how useful is it to me. I'm kind of backwards in that sense. I study languages just because I want to study them. And it's kind of weird because in life they're like, oh, you know, you only do things because you need to. And it's like, well, what if I just love studying languages because I'm interested in the language? And I think that, you know, I am autistic, so that's probably part of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the vibes. I'm playing 9-dimensional chess. I'm playing 9-dimensional chess. You don't understand at all. You have no idea how many dimensions of chess I'm playing right now. And you think you actually beat me too. You think you actually beat me. You think you actually beat me. That's the thing. That's how many dimensions of chess I'm playing. So that I could literally tell you what I'm doing and it still doesn't tell what I'm doing. That's how many dimensions of chess I'm playing. Do you understand? That's how many dimensions of chess I've been playing my whole life. I've been trolling the world since I was a child. And once people start to figure it out, they're gonna realize how fucking intelligent I am. As soon as they piece everything together, they're gonna be like, holy shit, Rebecca was the GOAT all along. Like, what the fuck? once people start to figure it out, once people start to figure out the pieces I've been moving the past 4 years, like once people start to actually see it, it's gonna be too late. I'm gonna be like the top of everything. Like the top of everything. People are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you're a fucking loser. Like you don't know what you're doing. You know, you're a fucking loser thinking that you can make it in this industry, whatever." You have fucking no idea. You have fucking no idea how much of a goat I am. And how many people have been manipulating me the whole time. Thinking that they like have some sort of like, oh yeah, you know, we can act like this person is like, make this person think that this person is meaningless. Meanwhile, I'm influencing the influencers. I'm literally influencing the top influencers. I've noticed this a long time ago, by the way. I've pieced together this a long time ago. I've been just trying to see, like, how far people would take it. Like, how far people would take it without actually telling me. Until one day they're like, okay, we need to talk to her now. Like, we can't just, like, ignore her now. Because, like, we're actually concerned for her. And the thing is you have no idea if that's actually, like, what I think or not. You have absolutely no idea if that's what I truly believe or not. That's how 9-dimensional chess I am. You understand how much of the fucking goat I am? That I've created this from absolutely nothing into something insanely larger than any single creator? That there have been people who are like, you know, who achieved so much success, most likely through my influence. And they're not even aware of it. Like, they're not even aware of how much I've actually created the field for them. And I've manipulated it in such a way that they're just gonna have no choice but to allow me to succeed. That's how much of a goat I am. That's how you play chess. That's how you play chess. And you have no idea if I'm joking or not. That's how much I've trained everybody. You know, obviously it's all a game. Like, this is all a game. Business is a game. Real life is not a game. So that's where I take life seriously. Because I know where my priorities are. My priority is my actual real life. You know, whatever happens on the internet, that's like some bullshit game. Like, I've been on the internet since I was 12. Like, 23 years, okay? Like, I know the internet's a fucking joke. I've known all along. Like, from day one, I already knew this was a game. it affected me, like, you know, because games affect you really deeply. But I figured it out. I got over that. Just like any game, you play long enough. Like, you play a game long enough, you stop rage quitting. You stop raging in general. Because I was raging because the game was complicated and frustrating. And most people give up the game. Because they're like, why would I want to play this? It's just making me angry. But I wanted to win. I still want to win. And when you want to win, you're going to fight through that shit. No matter what. You're not going to let anything deter you. Ever. Even when it seems hopeless. Because there's always another game. You can always reset the pieces. Never give up on yourself because you only get one life. And people make really bad mistakes in life. I think I've made some mistakes, but I don't think any of these mistakes are irreversible. I don't think any of these mistakes are irreversible. There's people who've done way worse than I have, and they've been able to recover. Okay, there's people who have done terrible, terrible, terrible things in life. And it doesn't make them terrible people. Obviously, if they keep doing terrible things, that's different. I'm not doing terrible things. I'm a good person. I obey the law. You know, I'm not out there committing crimes and shit. Like, there's people out there, like, you know, doing really terrible things out there. But they're making mistakes. Okay? But, like, you know, that even the people who've, like, committed murders and shit like that, they're redeemable. They're still human beings. Okay? This whole, like, oh, this person did this terrible thing, so now their whole life is over. That shit is, like, so fucking toxic. Like, people talk about forgiveness. People talk about, like, you know, like religion especially. Like, they talk about forgiveness. But it's like, you know, when it comes time to actually forgive people, people seem to forget that, you know, like, the actual teachings of Jesus Christ was to treat the person as a human being, because we're all supposedly supposed to be a son of God or whatever, sons and daughters of God or whatever. We're children. We live like 100 years, and if we truly believe that we are eternal souls, then why would the first 100 years of our existence, like, determine the rest of our lives? So this whole, like, you know, you do anything against what God decrees, and, like, you're going to hell for eternity. That's so fucking toxic, and it goes against everything Jesus taught. Not that it's like some kind of excuse to do bad things. That's not what I really wish people wouldn't think that way. But the people who think that way, they deserve forgiveness too. Like, practice what you preach. Like, if you're gonna say that we're all beautiful children of God or whatever, then why don't you give people, like, benefit of the doubt and patience and try to help people before it's too late. Before people start turning to a life of crime because they're so desperate for money, they commit crimes. Because what are they supposed to do? And I'm not a criminal, so I literally am trying to do it legit. I'm trying to make legit money, and it's really fucking hard. And there's a reason why people turn to, like, drugs and stuff, is because, like, they're just trying to make a living, and every single step of the way, life kicks their ass. And what are people supposed to do when they have an option? In some cases, people take that option, unfortunately. It's not worth it. Because you're going to end up in prison if you, like, go out and rob banks and shit. Or deal drugs that are, like, controlled substances without a license. There's a you know, nothing wrong with, like, obviously people are adults and they should be able to make good decisions. I do think certain things actually, like, are just inherently bad, like methamphetamines and like opiates that are, like, super concentrated or synthesized. Like basically fentanyl is like the meth of heroin, of opiates. And like that's just really bad stuff that like if like people are not qualified to administer because it's only used for like post surgery by a qualified professional who knows who can use like a complete like monitoring of like your health and how much is just used as an analgesic and how much is like when people start getting addicted to it, they're not a doctor and they're not using it for a medical reason. But it is an addiction, and people shouldn't be like demonized for having an addiction. And it's like there's something wrong. And it's like, why are you like hell-bent on punishing people? Like, you're not the judge. Like, obviously people should be held accountable, but like there's such a thing as context. And like, there's reasons why people are a certain way. And instead of like waiting until it's too late, how about we help people when they need help the most? Like when they're children. Like we don't help children, we just like throw them out into the world and we expect people to just like behave themselves when they don't even have all the tools required to do that sometimes. But if only they had like some support to begin with. No, and obviously some people are just bad, and this whole idea of like, oh yeah, well, you have way too much faith in humanity. It's like, what else would you rather me have? Would you rather me be like hating everybody and just assuming that everybody has the worst intentions, like they're malicious? Obviously there's malicious people, but that's why we have a justice system, is to like help people who are like have like mental illness, who are just like continually do malicious things to try to rehabilitate them. Some people don't want to be rehabilitated, unfortunately. Some people do. A lot of people do, actually. But like this whole like, oh, we're gonna put this person into a little tiny like I'm free, so it's like I'm held prisoner by poverty. That's a different problem. Like I'm not in prison. There's some people who are forced to be in prison because like, which is like a terrible conditions, and it's only gonna make it worse because you're putting people in a really fucking disgustingly terrible environment, surrounded by very violent people. And it's just going to continue. Like recidivism is a huge problem in the United States, where people just they say, oh, here we are again. It's like, even when somebody isn't a criminal, even when somebody did nothing wrong, people just assume that someone is like a criminal. Especially like they're police officers. They deal with a lot of the same shit, so they automatically sometimes, in some cases, cops just assume malicious intent from the get-go without even giving people a chance to like, hey, like, maybe it's not what you think it is. Anyway, it's a fucked up system, and like that's kind of like where I'm going, like with like, not like as a specific thing, but as like in general, people don't give people the benefit of the doubt. And they just immediately just like say, oh, well, I can't hire this person because I'm afraid this person is going to scream or something because they're autistic. It's like, well, why don't you give me a chance instead of making me scream? Because the reason I scream is because people back me into a corner, and despite all my efforts to try to overcome that, which I am making huge progress. Welcome, Vivian. Despite, obviously I have been trying to fix the screaming part, but I am autistic, and if people back me into a corner, despite all my efforts, sometimes I'm gonna end up screaming. But if people just like give me the benefit of the doubt and try to give me a chance and try to work with me, it's proven that I'm able to actually like function as an adult. And it feels like I'm like society, I'm not imprisoned in the traditional sense. I'm imprisoned by social norms. I'm imprisoned by like social expectations. By people's expectations that I like act like a very specific way that I'm not always capable of doing because of actual inherent like neurological differences. And it's not like I'm just using it as an excuse either. So it's like my whole entire life I've been punished for something that's out of my control. And I can change my behavior like based on like, you know, just trial and error and like very, very, very stressed out, like very difficult work that I've been doing to overcome something that has exceeded everybody's expectations of me. Because, you know, most people are just like, you know, we're going to try to help you, but we're not going to get our hopes up because you're autistic and you have these issues. And we just kind of assume that most people who are like that are probably going to be like that for the rest of their life. But I've exceeded expectations. But like, if society isn't going to give me that benefit of the doubt, because it's hard enough to get the medical system, you know, it's hard enough to get the medical system to be on your side sometimes. They are on your side. But, you know, it's like they don't always like really help you. And there's only so much they can do, because the biggest disability has been my inability to navigate the social world. And so I'm not going to be able to navigate it their way. So I've had to figure out a way to make it work even when people hate me. I have to be able to succeed even if people don't want me to succeed. Even if people hate working with me. Even if people hate me. Which I don't think that's the case. But there's, like, even if people, like, don't want me around, like, that's how I'm supposed to navigate the world. Because if I'm trying to, like, comply, it's just at some point, someone's just going to take everything away from me because they don't like the way I behave. Sometimes. When I'm backed into a corner. And when all my options are taken away. And I feel like I've been gaslit so hard that I feel like I've gone completely insane. And my body shuts down. And I go into fight or flight mode. Like I am right now. So I'm kind of in fight mode. And instead I'm going to kind of run away because I got stuff to do. I do have responsibilities today. So I got to get ready. So thank you all for stopping by. I just wanted to get that off my chest now because I don't want to be like that in public. Thank you, Vivian Chill. Thank you, Master Chess Dojo. Thank you for following. Thank you everybody for the follows. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you, Oren. Thank you, Low FPS TV. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. Thank you, Nancy Quinn. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine in life, I think. At least I hope. There's a lot of hope for me. I've been working really hard with my doctors. I've been like begging for help. The first step is knowing that is admitting you have a problem and admitting that you need to seek help. And I did that. And I've been working on that for the past 4 years, nonstop, on a daily basis. And whatever the fuck is going on with my social situation, I don't think it's irreparable. It's never too late. And I'm not even the kind of person who... I'm nowhere near the bottom. Because there's people who are absolutely hit rock bottom. But even they deserve a chance. Even they deserve a chance. Because we're all human beings and we're all in this together. And we're all gonna die one day. So, like, why don't we take care of each other while we're here instead of killing each other? Anyway. Bye.